And another couple of more uncommon decks here. On the left we have Joris, who we haven't seen for a bit. It's been a while. I can't remember the last time we actually saw him. He is playing Dead Guy Ale, which is a black and white Stoneforge deck. Now, normally it's a legacy deck, but Joris has turned it into a modern deck. Now, interesting to note, this is not an ephemerate deck, so no griefs, no solitudes. This is just a fair Orzhov mid-range deck. We're playing some Stoneforge Mystics, we're playing some Lilianas, we're playing some Dark Confidant, and we're just going for the mid-range interactive strategy. As we see a Inquisition of Kozilek being resolved here. One of the Mystical Archive arts. I love the Mystical Archive arts, but sometimes I have to look twice to actually see what it is that I'm looking at. But Inquisition I've seen a couple of times now, so it's easier. He is going to be playing Nygel on the right here, playing green-white Heliod, which is a more common modern deck, though it has fallen off in the past months, actually since Modern Horizons 2. But nevertheless, it should still be able to put up a fairly decent game here. Try and gain some life, create a walking ballista to shoot Joris' hopes and dreams for this game. Little push gonna take care of a Noble Hierarch from Nygel here. So a quick 1-2 punch from Joris here to try and buy himself some time, because his deck is definitely on the slower side. And if he doesn't keep interacting, Nygel can just assemble the combo and win. I don't think Joris has any way of beating Infinite Life, but we'll have to see how that goes. Now, a Stoneforge Mystic coming out for Joris here is going to find Cauldra complete. It's that all-round powerhouse of a card in any kind of Stoneforge Mystic deck. It's really solidified its place in both Modern and Legacy. Pretty much any deck playing Stoneforge Mystic, it is an absolute monster of a card. And looks like Nygel conceding the game. Looks like he didn't quite get anything going. I think he was stuck on lands. So, yeah. Game 1 going to Joris. Now, Heliod actually came back into the minds of people a couple weeks ago with the announcement of, what's it called? Swift reconfiguration, I believe. No idea, actually. I forget what the card is called, but it's one of the new Kamigawa cards. I think it was a Commander exclusive, I believe. It turns a creature into a vehicle with crew 5. And the reason it came back into the discussion was that if you equip it to a Devoted Druid, because it's no longer a creature, it no longer dies to having negative toughness, and you can actually just make a bunch of green mana, just go straight infinite. I can't remember what the card's called. Not that it really matters, I guess. But it's the interesting little tidbit here. The Heliod deck despite being named Heliod, is essentially just another evolution of the old devoted druid decks with Vizier of Remedies. Some of those decks still playing the original combo, some of them not. We have Ranger Captain putting in some pressure here. And Cauldra most likely going to be coming down after being fined for Stoneforge Mystic. Nygel asking... No, sorry. Joris asking about how Veil of Summer works. So... apparently has the card on his mind. Mentioning... Veil of Summer does... potentially protect Nygel against removal spells if he tries to go off here. Very effective against things like Fatal Push, but also potentially Vindicate, if that is not something Nygel is playing. I have to see. We have Cauldra coming in, gonna try and swing for 5. In response, we get a Collected Company finding Spike Feeder and a... Goodness me, what is that card called again? I just completely forgot what that card is called. The 2-color card that is on the field here. Conclave Mentor, thank you! Conclave Mentor, there we go. Good synergy with some of the other things that Nygel is doing already. Looks like he did take the damage of Cauldra. Spike Feeder on the field. Could potentially try and go for a combo if he has it. Doesn't look like it. Joris going to 10. Skyclave Apparition coming down. Most likely going to exile the Germ token. Yes, it is. That turns off Cauldra for a considerable amount of time. If Joris maybe finds... Oh yeah, Joris has Batter Skull, so... does still have some use in this Stoneforge Mystic. If he would like to. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Also worth mentioning, if Nygel's gonna try and go off here, the Ranger Captain could potentially just lock Joris out of casting any removal spells. Though, looks like that is going to be a different problem here, as Joris has Dam. Let's see. There we go. Going to wipe the board here. Overload. Essentially a Wrath of God here. Another Ranger Captain coming down for Nygel. Going to find an Arbor Elf, which, thanks to the Utopia Sprawl, going to make a bunch of value, as well as just being a beater. It has power. So, even if the mana isn't relevant, it's not completely useless. Let's see here. A Liliana of the Veil coming down for Joris here. Card that many a player these days seems to have forgotten exists, But Joris hasn't. Joris sure as hell hasn't. Now, Edict being used gets rid of the Arbor Elf. Was thinking about fatal pushing. The Ranger Captain decided not to, being scared of maybe getting comboed out. Just wants to keep the fatal push in hand, I guess. Or just keeping Dam on the field. I mean, just not pushing because Dam is a card that is relevant here. Third Ranger Captain. Nygel just keeps going here. But Joris is not necessarily doing nothing. This turn he can play the Batter Skull, just hardcast it if he so chooses. I don't think Nygel has the mana to kill him in one turn. Or he would have to hit Collected Company and hit both his combo pieces. I don't think that's worth playing around. I know that's easy to say when you're not the one sitting there playing, but I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine that you're gonna start playing around Collected Company, getting your entire combo. If it happens, it happens. It sucks, but you know. It's like Field of Ruin is going to do kill the Temple Garden here, get a quick shuffle out of both players. Then he's going to fatal push the Ranger Captain. Maybe he wanted to play the Dark Confidant first there, because Nygel just sacrificed the Ranger Captain in response. And now taking turn. Walking Ballista coming down for 3. Let's see. Ranger Captain until end of turn, end of your turn. Yeah, this turn. Okay, so is able to keep up removal afterwards. Now this Walking Ballista is potentially going to be a problem. So Batter Skull coming in. Gonna try and body the Walking Ballista. Joris is at 7, so potentially just pumping the Ballista and shooting could be a thing worth considering. Ballista going up to 5. It's going to attack. Now, unfortunately, the Walking Ballista... no, sorry, the Batter Skull has a lifelink. So it's going to take a little bit of time for for Nygel to kill Joris here. But the Germ is going to die. Now the question becomes, how do we not die to a Walking Ballista here? Because now Nygel actually does have the mana to do the things that Joris is, or at least should be, very scared for. I think Lingering Souls in the hand of Joris, as well as a Sword of Fire and Ice, Stoneforge Mystic. Yes, that is a Lingering Souls being cast now. 1/1s going to get shot down quite easily by the walking ballista here, I would assume. But it does buy him some time. And flashback lingering souls, put more of those dorks into play. That's the one. Yeah. Joris trying to stabilize here, but Nygel is not making it easy. You know, an Oriok champion coming in here. Oriok champion gains life, right? Yeah. Just a little bit too late, because those Lingering Souls tokens would have been very juicy for Nygel here, but that's alright. He is in a very good spot right now. Looks like Thoughtseize was the draw for the turn. I think it was. Came by really fast there. Yeah, it was Thoughtseize. Yeah, that one I get. So many cards I don't get, and that one I get. Thoughtseize not really an ideal pickup here. Like, we are already kind of concerned about Dark Confidant being not as relevant here. Just because of the low life total and this Walking Ballista potentially just taking over the game. Heliod being the draw for the turn, and that is going to be game 2. Heliod going to give Walking Ballista life link, and then shoot Joris for an infinite amount of damage. And then for game 3, Joris going to be on a mulligan to 6 with Nygel keeping 7. Yeah, that Walking Ballista bought Nygel a lot of time, a lot of turns, and as we saw, enough to just stabilize, stall out, and roll straight into the combo. Heliod, just a fantastic card in a bunch of different 2-card Monties. Either with Walking Ballista, giving it life link and then just shooting a bunch of damage, or you do it with a Spike Feeder and just gain infinite life. That's usually enough as well. Of course, Heliod got a lot worse with the printing of Prismatic Ending. But regardless, if you can get the combo online, it is a effective card. Stoneforge Mystic coming down for Joris here is going to find Cauldra. Just try and apply as much pressure as you can, as quick as you can. Because as we saw, if Nygel's given the time to just do his thing, he is going to do his thing. Heliod coming down. Turn 2. Nygel also applying a buttload of pressure. Looks like we are not going to get Cauldra this turn. Vindicate is going to take care of the land with the Utopia Sprawl. Probably the right call here. Because yes, you are delaying yourself by a turn, but you essentially just set back Nygel 2 turns. Oriok Champion coming down for Nygel here. Not the combo card he was looking for, but is potentially going to give him just a bit of breathing room here. But yeah, that Vindicate is going to be crucial here. Dauthi Voidwalker. The Dauthi Voidwalker Another very good Monorizes 2 card. It's the 2 mana 3/2 that is essentially unblockable, and in some cases finds you whatever combo piece your opponent is using that is very dangerous to just put into play freely. Like if you play a Voidwalker into a Thoughtseize and your opponent has like an Emrakul in hand, yeah, that game ends real fast. That game ends real fast. So Voidwalker is a fantastic value card in that respect. And also fantastic at applying a bunch of pressure, especially in a situation like this, where we now have Spike Feeder coming down. Does that mean we get to see Infinite Life? And Joris does not have the removal spell in response. Nygel out of reach for Joris and going to take this match 2-1.